Okay, welcome back in. I'm going to continue this 32 in 32 series. Today, I'll be looking at the Los Angeles Rams. So they would finish first in the NFC West, the first time since the 2021-22 campaign when they went all the way to the Super Bowl that year. And they would end up being fourth in the NFC overall. So take a look at the team schedule. So you can finish. They finished with a 10-7 record. So we'll look at their regular season schedule. So it wasn't looking too good at the beginning of the season, losing 4 of their first 5 games. So they started off 1-4, heading into their week 6 bye week. At that point, I was pretty much ready to write the Rams off. I was like, there's no way that they're going to come back after losing 4 of their first 5 games. After their bye week, though, they sure as you know what smartened up, winning 3 games against the Raiders, Vikings, and Seahawks respectively, before dropping 2 of their next 3 games to the Dolphins and the Eagles. They would win against the Patriots, and then after that loss to the Eagles, they would go on a 5 game winning streak, as you can see on the screen, before dropping their last game to the Seahawks, which didn't really mean anything because they had won the division at that point already. So because they finished as the number 4 seed in the NFC, they would take on the first wildcard team, the number 5 seed Minnesota Vikings. They would technically be the home team in the matchup, but because of the wildfires in Los Angeles, they had to be relocated to Arizona. So Los Angeles was home in Arizona to the Minnesota Vikings, where the Rams would win against the Vikings 27-9. They would go on to the divisional round against the Philadelphia Eagles, where they unfortunately would lose 28-22, ending their postseason run. So we'll take a look at the team's stats. So I'm just going to scroll down. So you can see they finished first in the NFC West. And I know when I did my review for the Seahawks, I said that they both finished with the same record. And if I was a Seahawks fan, which I'm not, I'd probably be a little bitter about that Week 18 contest, meaning absolutely nothing, considering you both finished with the same record. So on offense, as a team, they would finish 10th in passing with 3,868 yards. They would finish 10th in receiving yards with 4,096. First downs, they were 9th in the league with 104. Rushing yards, they were 24th in the league with 1,765. And points, they were 20th in the league, 367 points. They had a lot of success when it came to passing, but the run game, you can see, near the bottom of the league. On defense, when it came to the sacks category, they were 21st in the league with 38. Interceptions, they were 16th in the league with 13. Forced fumbles, they were 26th in the league with 10. And tackles, they were 26th in the league with 637. So not the best defense, if I want to be completely honest with you. Special teams, we'll take a look. They would finish 17th in the league in field goals made with 29. Their field goal percentage, they were 14th in the league with a 85.3 percentage. Extra points made, they were 21st in the league. They made 32, and their extra point percentage was 88.9. So unfortunately, they weren't perfect, and they did miss a few point after tries. Okay, that's their team stats. Now we'll go to the individual stats. So team leaders, Matthew Stafford, big surprise in year number 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 22, 23, 24, 25. In year 4 with the Los Angeles Rams, he threw for 3,762 yards, finishing with a 65.76 completion percentage and a touchdown to interception ratio of 20-8. So it's almost 3-1. Puka Nacua, I believe, the wide receiver, would finish just 10 yards shy of 1,000 on 79 catches and 3 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, the wily vet, would finish the season with 710 receiving yards on 67 catches and 6 TDs. Kyren Williams, the running back, would finish with just 1 yard shy of 1,300. I'm sure he would have loved to have gotten that on 316 rushes and 14 touchdowns. So pretty darn good running back, to say the least. And Blake Corum, the other running back, would finish with 207 yards on 58 attempts. On defense, Brandon Fiske, I believe, the defensive end, would finish with 8.5 sacks, 20 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Quentin Lake, the free safety, would finish with 73 tackles, 2 sacks as well. And Cameron Kinchins, I believe, the defensive back, would finish with 4 interceptions, leading the Rams, 36 tackles, and 1 forced fumble, along with 6 pass deflections. Special teams, Joshua Carty, the kicker, would finish with 29 field goals on 34 attempts for a 85.29 percentage in that category. And then Ethan Evans, EE, would finish with 2,530 yards on 55 punts, averaging exactly 46 yards a kick. So for the Rams, obviously it was a successful season, making the postseason, winning the division, winning a playoff game, but unfortunately their dreams came crashing down when they played the Eagles in the divisional round matchup. Moving forward, again, it's going to depend on the future of the team, what they decide to do with their quarterbacks, any other position that they may want to address. But I'm going to be honest with you, unless the Rams get off to another slow start again next year, they should have high expectations to compete in the NFC West. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say they could possibly repeat if they bring back a lot of the same players. But again, it's also going to depend on how the San Francisco 49ers pair out as well, because they had a very disappointing season. So if the 49ers are healthy, maybe they could get the division again. But I will say the Rams should and possibly could finish second in the NFC West next year. Again, right behind San Fran. Arizona, I'm not completely sold on. Yes, they were competitive this year, but unfortunately they fell apart at the worst part of the year. And as for the Seahawks, I really don't know what their future holds, if I'm going to be honest with you. A team that should have made the playoffs, but unfortunately they just fell short. So the Seahawks should give the Rams and the 49ers a run for their money. But again, just my bold prediction right now is I think, if I had to guess, the Rams should finish second next year. But again, there's a lot of off-season moves to be made, a lot of draft picks to go through, and I'm sure there'll be some injuries, unfortunately, along the way, which can help or which can basically destroy a team if you have too many injuries, aka the 49ers this past season. So we'll see what happens. And again, I will be making a prediction for next year around August once the training camp's all over with and we'll get the preseason and all that underway. So yeah, I have a successful year this past year for the Rams, but unfortunately just fell 2 games shy of a Super Bowl. All right, that's going to take care of this recap for the Los Angeles Rams. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.